Welcome back to the channel Golden Hyra Coin, another exciting journey into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures that could be lying right in your pocket or tucked away in a jar at home. Today we are diving into one of the most surprising and often overlooked pieces of United States coinage, the 1983 D Liberty Quarter Dollar. This coin may seem ordinary at first glance, but if you know its history and the secrets behind it, you will discover that some of these quarters are worth far more than just 25 cents. In fact, certain rare conditions of the 1983 D Liberty Quarter can be valued today in the hundreds of dollars, with market prices climbing as high as $442 for collectors who are eager to add this remarkable piece to their collection. Now let us begin with a little history. The quarter dollar has been a staple in American commerce for generations, and the design we see on the 1983 D coin belongs to the Washington Quarter series. This series was introduced back in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. On the obverse side of the coin, you will find the powerful and dignified profile of Washington, a design that has become iconic in U.S. coinage. The reverse features the bold American eagle with spread wings, perched proudly on a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness, while an olive branch rests beneath it to represent the pursuit of peace. This combination of strength and peace is what makes the Washington Quarter such a patriotic and meaningful coin to Americans across generations. The 1983 D Liberty Quarter carries a very specific history. First, it was minted in Denver, as indicated by the small D mint mark on the obverse side of the coin, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. In that year, the Denver Mint struck millions of these coins, but what makes them interesting is not just their massive circulation, but the fact that 1983 was a period when no official mint sets were produced by the U.S. Mint. This meant that coin collectors who normally would obtain pristine, uncirculated coins and mint sets were left without access to those high-quality examples for the year 1983. As a result, most 1983 quarters went directly into everyday circulation, where they were subjected to wear and tear. Because of this, finding a 1983 D Liberty Quarter in brilliant uncirculated condition or with a very high grade is exceptionally rare. Coins that were saved accidentally, perhaps tucked away by someone who noticed a shiny example or kept as a keepsake, are now considered treasures. Over the years, collectors have realized how difficult it is to find these coins in top-notch condition, which has caused their market value to rise dramatically. So, what does that mean for you? If you happen to come across a 1983 D Liberty Quarter in outstanding condition, especially one graded by a professional grading service, you could be holding a coin worth hundreds of dollars. The current market has seen certain examples sell for as much as $442. Making this one of those hidden gems that many people overlook. Imagine holding a coin that looks like any other 25-cent piece, yet it carries a value hundreds of times higher because of its rarity and condition. Collectors always look at a few key things when evaluating this coin. First is the strike quality. Was the coin well struck with sharp details, or does it show weakness in the lettering and eagle feathers? Second is the surface preservation. Are there scratches, nicks, or signs of circulation, or does it still have that original luster straight from the mint? And finally, toning can play a role. Some quarters develop attractive natural colors over time, and collectors sometimes pay a premium for coins with beautiful rainbow toning or golden hues. But it is not just condition that excites coin enthusiasts. The story of the 1983 D Liberty Quarter is part of what makes it fascinating. It serves as a reminder that even in modern times, with billions of coins produced, certain years and mint marks stand out because of unusual circumstances like the absence of mint sets. That is why this coin continues to be highly sought after. For anyone who loves coin collecting or simply enjoys the thrill of treasure hunting, this is a perfect example of why you should always check your change. Think about it, millions of people use quarters every day without giving them a second thought, yet hidden in plain sight could be a rare 1983 D quarter worth hundreds. It is stories like these that make coin collecting so exciting and rewarding. So, the next time you have some spare change in your pocket, take a moment to look closely. Examine the date, check the mint mark, and look at the condition. You never know, You just might discover a piece of American history and a coin worth hundreds of dollars waiting right at your fingertips. The 1983 D Liberty Quarter is proof that valuable treasures are still out there, circulating quietly, waiting for someone with a keen eye to find them. Collectors all over the world continue to pay attention to coins like this, and as demand rises, so too does the market value. The fascinating part is that this is not a coin locked away in museums or elite private collections, it is a coin you could realistically stumble upon in your everyday life. That makes it not only valuable in dollars but priceless in the joy of discovery. So whether you are a seasoned collector or just someone curious about coins, remember the story of the 1983 D Liberty Quarter. It is more than just a piece of metal. It is a slice of history, a symbol of American pride, and potentially a hidden fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1983 D Liberty Quarter, make sure to subscribe for more coin stories, market updates, and hidden treasures you might find in your change. Who knows, your next quarter might just be worth $442 or even more in the years to come. Keep looking, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of a simple coin. Do you want me to also write a shorter, catchy version of this script that's optimized for fast YouTube intros, so you can hook viewers in the first 30 seconds before diving into the long story? Today we are going to talk about a very special and often overlooked coin that has surprised collectors and enthusiasts around the world with its fascinating history and incredible market value. I am talking about the 1987 P Liberty Quarter dollar. At first glance it might look like just another regular quarter you would use to buy a gumball, but in reality this coin can be worth hundreds of dollars, even up to $442 in today's collector market. So stay tuned because the story behind this coin is far more interesting than you might expect. The quarter has always held an important place in the United States coinage system. Back in 1932, the United States Mint introduced the Washington quarter in honor of the 200th birthday of George Washington, the very first president of the United States. From that time until today, the Washington quarter has been one of the most recognizable and most widely circulated coins in America. But what makes the 1987 P Liberty Quarter so unique is the combination of its minting details, its production history, and the growing demand from collectors who are willing to pay a premium price for a high-quality specimen. Let us start with the basics. The P mark on the coin stands for the Philadelphia Mint, which is one of the main mints in the United States. In 1987, the Philadelphia Mint produced millions of quarters, but not every single one came out exactly the same. Some were struck with slight variations, some were struck under unusual conditions, and some have survived the test of time in extraordinary condition. That is why collectors are willing to pay serious money for a coin that is perfectly preserved and graded by professional coin grading companies. Now imagine this. You are going through your change jar, maybe just sorting out coins for fun, and you come across a quarter from 1987 with a Philadelphia Mint mark. At first you might not think much of it. But if that coin happens to be in mint state condition, with sharp details, shiny luster, and no scratches or wear, then you could be holding on to a coin worth hundreds of dollars. Some of these coins in pristine condition have sold for up to $442, which is an incredible return on something that was originally worth just 25 cents. The history behind this coin also adds to its charm. The 1980s were an interesting decade for American coinage. This was before the introduction of the state quarters program in the late 1990s, so at that time quarters still carried the traditional Washington design with the eagle on the reverse. The quarter was still seen as a simple workhorse coin, used every day by millions of people for parking meters, vending machines, and daily purchases. No one at that time imagined that certain coins from that decade would one day fetch hundreds of dollars on the collector's market. That is why finding one today feels like uncovering a hidden gem from the past. Collectors also love the 1987 P Liberty Quarter because it represents a time when the U.S. Mint was transitioning into more modern techniques of coin production. Coins struck in the Philadelphia Mint during that era sometimes carried small differences that make them stand out from the rest. For example, some may show stronger strikes, deeper details, or even slight die variations that appealed to specialists. This adds a layer of excitement for anyone hunting through their change or coin rolls. The value of the 1987 P quarter depends heavily on condition. A circulated coin, the kind you might pull from your pocket after years of use, will usually just be worth its face value of 25 cents. But in mint state grades, especially coins graded MS65 and higher, the value skyrockets. At those grades, collectors are willing to spend well over $100, and at the highest levels the price can push into the hundreds, with some examples reaching around $442. That is why professional grading is so important. If you think you have a 1987 P quarter in exceptional condition, sending it to a grading company could make the difference between a coin worth a quarter and a coin worth hundreds. Let us also consider market demand. Over the past few years, more and more collectors have been paying attention to modern coins, not just older classics. This has created a surge in interest for coins from the 1980s and 1990s that were once ignored. As the demand goes up, the prices rise, and suddenly a coin like the 1987 P Liberty Quarter becomes a hot commodity. It is a reminder that coin collecting is not just about rare old coins from the 1800s. Even coins from the late 20th century can carry serious value if they are rare in condition and highly sought after by enthusiasts. So, what can you do if you want to find one of these valuable quarters? The first step is to check your change carefully. Always look at the date and the mint mark. If you see 1987 with the P mark, set it aside. Next, examine the condition. The less wear the coin has, the better. If it looks shiny and well preserved, you might have something special. You can also search through coin rolls from the bank or visit coin shows where collectors trade and sell their finds. Sometimes hidden treasures are waiting in the most unexpected places. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Every coin tells a story, and every coin has the potential to surprise you. The 1987 P Liberty Quarter Dollar is proof that history and value can hide in plain sight. A simple quarter from the 1980s, something most people would overlook, can turn out to be a collectible worth hundreds of dollars in today's market. So, the next time you have a handful of change, take a closer look. You never know if you might be holding onto a small piece of history, a coin with a story, and perhaps even a coin that could put $442 or more into your pocket. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare and valuable coins, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. Because you never know, someone you know might just have a valuable treasure hiding in their change without even realizing it. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting, because the next big discovery could be just one coin away. Would you like me to also create a shorter, punchy version of this script for your YouTube intro and hook? That way you grab attention immediately before diving into this long storytelling version. Today we are diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1990 D Liberty Quarter Dollar coin, a coin that many people have in their pockets, purses, or collections without ever realizing that some of these seemingly ordinary coins can be worth hundreds of dollars on the collector's market. Now you might be wondering why a quarter from 1990 could be so special. After all, the quarter has been one of the most common coins in American currency for decades, but the truth is behind every date, mint mark, and detail on these coins there lies a story of history, rarity, and sometimes hidden fortune. And today the 1990 D Liberty Quarter Dollar is our star. So let's start with the basics. The 1990 D quarter was minted in Denver, Colorado, which is what the D mint mark stands for. During that year, millions of these quarters rolled off the presses and went into circulation, featuring the familiar obverse design of George Washington. The quarter had carried his portrait since 1932, and by 1990 it was still going strong. Designed by John Flanagan, this portrait shows Washington facing left with the word liberty above his head, the motto "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date 1990 at the bottom. On the reverse we see the classic eagle design with its wings spread, proudly clutching a bundle of arrows and surrounded by olive branches. This design had been on the quarter since 1932 as well, and was meant to symbolize both strength and peace. Together these images make the 1990 D quarter a part of American tradition, and coinage history, but here is where it gets interesting. While millions of these coins were struck, not all of them are created equal. Some examples, especially those in pristine mint state condition or with rare minting errors, have become highly desirable among collectors. In fact, certain 1990 D quarters have sold in the coin market for astonishing amounts, reaching current values around $442 or even higher depending on condition and rarity. Now you might be asking, why would someone pay hundreds of dollars for a coin that most people would spend without a second thought? The answer lies in a combination of history, rarity, and condition. For starters, many 1990 D quarters were heavily circulated, meaning they show scratches, wear, and loss of detail. Those that survive in brilliant uncirculated condition with sharp details and no visible wear are far scarcer than you might think. Professional grading services, like PCGS or NGC, often assign these coins grades on the Sheldon scale, ranging from MS60 to the near-perfect MS70. A 1990 D quarter in lower grades may only be worth face value, but once you cross into those higher mint state levels, that is where the big money comes into play. Coins graded MS66, MS67 and above can fetch incredible prices at auction, and collectors are always hunting for that perfect example to add to their sets. But condition is not the only factor. There are also error coins and varieties to look for. For instance, off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, or weak strikes are among the types of minting errors that can elevate the value of a coin dramatically. Imagine finding a quarter in your change that has a visible doubling in the lettering or an unusual misalignment. Those oddities could turn an everyday coin into a miniature jackpot. Let us also consider the historical context of 1990. The United States was at the end of the Cold War. George H.W. Bush was president, and the American economy was shifting in major ways. The quarter minted that year is not just a piece of metal, but also a small artifact of that era. It connects us to the time period and adds another layer of meaning for collectors who see coins as time capsules in their hands. So how do you know if your 1990 D quarter could be worth serious money? First, take a close look at the condition. The shinier and more flawless it looks, the better. Next, examine the details under a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Pay attention to any unusual doubling, cracks, or shifts in the strike. Finally, if you believe you have something special, consider sending it to a grading service where experts can authenticate and assign it a grade, which is key to unlocking its true market value. On the open market, some of these high-grade 1990 D quarters have been known to bring in values around $442 and sometimes even higher in auction houses where enthusiastic collectors bid against each other. Remember, coin values can change over time depending on demand, rarity, and the condition of the available coins. That is why even coins from the 1990s, which may feel modern to many of us, can still command remarkable prices. Imagine this: you open up an old coin jar sitting in the back of your closet, you sift through the coins, and out pops a shiny 1990 D quarter. You look closer and realize it has no scratches, sharp details, and maybe even a rare error. This small discovery could potentially be worth hundreds of dollars, turning a simple coin into a valuable treasure. Collectors love coins like this, not just for the money, but for the story each coin tells. Every scratch, every shine, every minting flaw speaks of a journey from the mint in Denver to pockets, purses, stores, and banks across the nation. And when one of these coins survives in top condition, it is like discovering a time traveler preserved in metal, ready to tell its tale decades later. So the next time you come across a quarter, do not dismiss it as just 25 cents. Pay attention to the date and the mint mark, because hidden in plain sight are coins like the 1990 D Liberty $quarter coins that can be worth not only sentimental value but also a market price of $442 or more. Collecting coins is not just about money, it is about history, treasure hunting, and the thrill of discovery. And that, my friends, is the story of the 1990 D Liberty $quarter A coin, with a history that stretches back to the founding ideals of America. A coin minted in Denver during a time of change, and a coin that today can surprise you with its hidden value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing coin stories, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another chance to discover the treasures hiding in your change. Thank you for watching and happy coin hunting. Would you like me to also add a powerful hook-style opening line to instantly grab attention right at the start of your video, like, did you know a simple 1990 quarter in your pocket could be worth over $400 today? So that viewers stay hooked in the first few seconds?